Hey guys, welcome back to Day-to-Day Chess. This is Sabina, and today is Seasoning Up Sunday. I really hope you're ready for this endgame study that I've prepared for you guys. In fact, about 4 or 5 days ago, I saw on Twitter Grandmaster Pavel Eljanov posted this study by Oleg Pervakov, and I told myself, this is so amazing, let me try to solve it myself and see how well I can do. And once I found the solution, I realized it was really beautiful, and I really had to share it with you guys, so I really hope you like it. Before we start, I have to make the announcement once again. I told you guys that next weekend I wanted to give it back to my subscribers, and if you had any beautiful games that you wanted analyzed and shown on my YouTube channel, of course I would analyze them and then post them. Please share them with me. I really haven't gotten that many, so I'm still waiting. I really hope to get something before I will be preparing my YouTube for tomorrow. If not, I will start sharing some nice wins of various members of my family against against stronger players. But I would really like some of your games. Of course, this is for you guys, so I really hope you're watching this, and don't feel shy to share your games with me and with everybody else. But of course, when I share the games, I don't have to say your name. If you don't want me to say your name, I will not say your name. I will just show the game, and nobody will ever know whose game it was. So feel free to email me that way if you prefer. No hard feelings for anybody. You know, the idea is for all of us to learn. So that is basically my goal. Okay, so let's check out this study. This is the position. It is white to move. I hope you guys are going to pause the video and try to solve it. If not, I will be starting giving some little hints. Hopefully will help you solve this beautiful position. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Looks like we have a pawn that's going for the queen, right? This A pawn is close to promotion. But we also have some material disadvantage, right? Like the queen, he has the rook. Also, black might be threatening some rook takes b3 in this position if we're not being cautious enough, and maybe of course also some queen e3 check and winning one of the bishops. So there are many threats that black would have in this position, so we really need to be very cautious on which move we're choosing. But mostly it's kind of clear we really want to push that pawn towards promotion, because none of black's pieces for the moment could catch it. But let's just imagine that we push a7, right? Let's start with this move. Does this move really work? Well, no, and you will see this quite fast, that black can simply capture the knight, and when you take back queen takes check, your king will capture in c6 or goes to a6. It really doesn't matter, because next move is going to be either queen b7 check if you are to go, in a6. But here I can just go queen e6 check, and then you don't really have a good spot for the king. You're gonna lose one of these bishops with check wherever you go, and then that pawn is going to be stopped by the queen on e4. So really, this position you're even going to lose. So definitely do not think of playing a7. Okay, what other ideas could we have in this position? Well, we could think of moving this knight from here to try to afterwards push the a pawn. So let's just say we would be thinking about knight c5. What is the idea? Well, the idea would be, of course, to try to, push the pawn towards promotion, right? And for example, if black would be thinking at a move like, let's say, maybe queen g4 or something, to try to give some checks on that side, well, in this position, how can we stop the check? We can't allow that check to happen. For example, if we play a7 in this position, there'll be queen b4 check, king takes here, and now take a look. Black doesn't really have good checks, but what does he have? This king here in c8 is on stalemate, so probably in this position black can simply start sacrificing his rook. You have to take it. And then he's going to sacrifice his queen as well. And he's going to be stalemated. So instead of actually winning this position, we would be making a draw. Not our goal in the position. So let's go back to this knight c5. After queen g4, for example, here, maybe in order to stop this queen b4, we have a move. Can we take the rook? We could, but then if we do, let's not forget, again, queen g1 check. And once you capture that pawn, if you capture it, if not, if for example you go king a5, I can still play this beautiful knight c5 check. You have to take it, and now again I am stalemated. My poor king is stuck, which is good for me, of course. So that won't work either. Is there any other way to stop this queen b4 check? Yes, there is. There's this bishop c3 here. And, you know, in this position, it is not very clear how black is going to sacrifice his pieces and be stalemated. For example, if he just takes the bishop, we have this nice move, bishop d7 check. And if queen takes, we take back. And, you know, we have a bunch of pawns that are going to promote. So now black is not going to be stalemated. So after bishop to c3, we would be winning. So going back, well, black has tried to bring his queen and try to give perpetual check or just get himself stalemated, but it really doesn't work that way. Crazily enough, in this position, there is one move that saves black. And that move, crazy or not, is queen f1. It takes a really long time to find this move because you're just thinking how to sacrifice pieces, and eventually it won't work because you'll still remain with the c6 pawn that will have to push eventually. But this queen to f1 is really strong because now, for example, if you were to push, let's say, a7, there will be, of course, rook b3 check. And don't even think of taking because you're going to get mated. Okay, so be cautious about that. And if king takes c6 here, we simply can do queen g2 check, and the queen is going to king d6. Now rook b6 check. The king goes to e7. It's crazy, but queen g5 check. The king can go to f8, and eventually black will be able to make a draw in this position, probably after rook f6. So, okay, queen f1, amazing move. Can we try to do something else? We could try to push one of these pawns, like let's say b4 maybe, but still black can find a way to win this. He can play, for example, queen e1, attack, attack. You don't really have a good spot for the bishop. I'll take him b4, and black would manage to make a draw. So this knight c5 doesn't work. Okay, we can't really move the knight because there will be the sacrifice, but at the same time, black is threatening the sacrifice in b3, so we can, if we are trying to move the knight, he's not going to sacrifice, but he will still try to find ways to eventually sacrifice to get himself stalemated. So we have to look for more concrete things that would get the position going in white's favor. Okay, so we saw these moves, nothing works. The correct move in this position, and a very beautiful one, is this bishop d7. Check. What to do? And why is this move so great? Well, we have to consider every capture. Let's say black captures with the queen first. Queen takes d7. And what's happening now? Well, you gave away that bishop. The queen is not on the third rank anymore to sacrifice in b3. So now white can actually play a7, threatening queen. Rook takes b3 check, right? We want to sacrifice to try to catch that. And now, really, you have no way, because now no matter where you sacrifice the queen, you're not going to be stalemated. If you sacrifice it in d4, I'll just take back, and I'm going to promote. You have exit, you can push the pawn. And if you take, for example, in c7, again, I can simply take, and you're not stalemated. So this is the little problem with bishop d7. You can capture with the queen. Now, something similar would happen if you capture with the rook. And I'm still playing a7. Now, the difference between this position and the one earlier is that maybe you have this queen e3 check, but you don't have that sacrifice in b3 that would give you the opportunity of giving both pieces away and, you know, have a perpetual check or stalemate. In this case, I simply have bishop d4, and if you take, of course, it won't help you. You have no way to stop my pawn from promoting. And if you take the knight again, you don't do anything. So basically it's over. I'm promoting next move, and there's nothing you can do about it. So what else? After a7, maybe you can think of capturing in c7, but I promise you after a8 queen, you're going to be resigning shortly. So this rook takes d7 doesn't work either. Let's go back to bishop d7 check and see what's happening if the king captures. Okay, the king captures, and here we think, okay, we really need to move this knight, right? Because there was that sacrifice. We can't just play a7 in this position because now he will simply take, and if you take back, you're going to be mated in b5. Or, well, you can come king c5, but then still queen b5 check. Black has a queen up. So after rook takes b3, even if you move the king, it's not going to be sufficient for you because now I have rook b5 check, for example, and black is winning. So going back, we can't do that. We can't afford to push the pawn. So we are thinking, well, what was the idea of giving away the bishop? Well, the idea was to bring our knight with check, and that's exactly the continuation in this position, knight c5 check. Black has only one move because if you don't go to c8, I'm going to promote to a queen, of course. And this is the position. We are thinking immediately, when you see this position, we're thinking, ooh, we move the knight from b3. There are no checks on the diagonal. This king is on mate. We can push a7 and make a draw in this, win in this position by promoting. But there is a little problem. After a7, black goes rook a3 to stop the pawn. We capture, of course, queen takes. And if we promote, let's say we promote to queen, queen takes, and now we're saying, okay, so the queen took, now we can play a4, that queen is trapped there. He can't move it anywhere because we're going to win the queen and win the game. Well, yes, it's true, but not really, because in this position, black can simply play queen a5 check. If you take, it's stalemate. If you take the pawn in c6, in this position, well, you risk of losing, so definitely you shouldn't be trying that, because maybe I can play, let's say, queen e1 or something, just move the queen, queen d2, just move the queen, I took your pawn that was about to promote, and, you know, I should have chances to win this position. So this is a little problem. After a4, black can simply sacrifice their queen, and you have to take it, otherwise you're gonna lose, and it's gonna be a stalemate. So what to do? It seems like until here, knight c5, king to c8, it seems that until here the position and the line has been quite clear. But what do we do now? We really cannot afford that rook a3 and allow black to get stalemated. So here comes the second part of the study, in my opinion. And here you have to find a move so that black will not remain with his king to be able to get stalemated. And that idea is this one, bishop to c3. You're basically living with the bishop so that c7 pawn is not defended anymore, and you're also closing the third rank. So now your threat is quite clear. You want to push a7. And if black is going to sacrifice the rook here, you're not capturing it so that you give the queen opportunities to give you checking before, but you're playing a7. And the difference between this position and before, first rook b3 doesn't work because you simply take. Okay, so rook a3 to stop the pawn from promoting. Now we take, queen takes, we promote to a queen, queen takes, and now we have this great move, a4, trapping the queen. The king is on stalemate for the moment, but there are no spaces that black can give away the queen without to get stalemated. He's going to lose no matter where. Let's say here we take and then he takes, but we're winning this with the a pawn. So basically this was the study, guys. This amazing bishop c3, after which a7 comes and promote. I hope you enjoyed the study. Stay tuned for next week's game analysis.